Today we're talking about The Demolitionist from 1995. It's like RoboCop meets Judge Dredd with a dash of Stone Cold.
What?
Unfortunately not the cool one. On a dollar store budget. Looks like it was a lot of fun to make, unfortunately not very fun to watch. So let's watch him dance again and see if we can get to the bottom line.
What?
Because Nicole Eggert said so. Oh, guys, holy cow. Welcome back to Trash Tapes. The Demolitionist. There it is, on VHS. I own the copy. I've had this for years, and I was like, oh, that looks like a futuristic, cool movie. I'm going to watch that someday. I'm going to, take a gander at it, see what it's like, see what it's all about. Yeah, that movie... this movie sucked so hard. It's so bad. It was so bad that, it took me a few days to get through it. I don't know, something about it. I didn't enjoy it. It was terrible. I had to take notes to remember, what was going on. My brain just wanted to dispel the information, dispel this film. It was so rough. Let me just give a rundown of the film. Two bad guy brothers are in prison. They're on death row. They're about to be executed. But they have, surprisingly, this evil plan that lets them escape. They kill the people that are there. Unfortunately, one of the brothers dies, so the evil brother that's left is on a mission to kill the mayor and overthrow the city. Other than that, they don't have a goal. They just are there. The evil guy's plan is to cause havoc and kill people and overthrow the city. That's it.
We're gonna rip the tits off that fucking bitch's city hall! Yeah!
He never talks about why, other than revenge for his brother, but it sounds like they're already planning on doing all this, so I don't know. He's just bad man, generic bad man. Nicole Eggert is an undercover police officer. She is in with the bad guy's crew. She gets found out. There is her and her lover who... He's like the guy in the van, the tech guy. They capture him, make him play Russian roulette, kill both of them. Now, they take her body back to the lab. Due to a technicality in her contract with the police, they basically can turn her into a police zombie. So they kill her and then resurrect her through the Lazarus Project.
Am I dead?
You were. My condolences.
And make her the super crime-fighting hero. But there's a lot of drawbacks to it. Like, you constantly have to inject yourself and sit in this weird chair every night. Otherwise, you deteriorate. It's not a really good program. Usually, if you make a super soldier, you do it, and then they're good. No, not this one. You're constantly, deteriorating and falling apart.
Without a daily transfusion in the chair, massive organic degeneration will take place. You'll rot.
So... And the other kicker is that what makes her superpowers wear off is physical exertion and stress. So
Tense physical activity will compromise the solution. A booster to the jugular will temporarily reverse the process.
For how long?
Results vary depending on the stress level of the subject.
So fighting crime is literally the worst thing that she can do for herself as this police zombie, because anytime she gets stressed or overexerts herself, she deteriorates. A lot of generic action happens, but not really, because they never really they rarely show her doing action. They like to show it off screen or on a newspaper cover. Very frustrating. A lot of just footage of her shooting randomly, and then bad guys falling over. Her love interest, she just goes and pulls the plug on him and kills him because he's brain dead because he got shot in the head, but somehow he's still alive even though he took a hollow point blank to the head. And then the scientist guy who is in charge of the Lazarus Project, it's kind of like a love interest, but not really, because they don't really flesh that out. Ultimately, she just gets her revenge and then somehow walks away from the program at the end. But now she doesn't deteriorate for some reason.
Without a daily transfusion in the chair, massive organic degeneration will take place. You'll rot.
But now she can just walk away. They show a scene of her putting a flower on her own grave. But now she's still dead, but she's not deteriorating and doesn't need the magic serum anymore. The movie has a lot of problems. I had high hopes for it. The cover looked cool. It seemed like it came from the right era to be really fun and goofy. Tom Savini is like an extra in it. You know, there's a few moments of like cool practical effects, but not enough to like carry the film. A lot of like just lazy lack of special effects. They just do a lot of like, this happened off screen. Hope that's good enough for you. This movie basically is so 90s that it hurts. A lot of Dutch angles, a lot of misty filters. And the worst part is I watched it alone. I didn't even have a friend or a loved one to commiserate with while watching this. I just suffered through it all by myself.
Ain't you the instant harmony?
It's funny because like I never saw this movie growing up, like at Blockbuster or any video rental store. It kind of flew under my radar, but it seems like something that would have been on like TV in the afternoon, like on repeat on like the USA channel or something like that. Let's see what else we got here. What didn't I cover? I wrote down, when in doubt, cut to boobs. They did that a couple times where a scene would just abruptly end and then got to keep the audience interested somehow. Makes sense. The world building is weird. It's supposed to be like a city that has no guns. The police don't have any guns, kind of like the Demolition Man, but they already have guns. Like everybody has a gun, and the Demolitionist has guns. So it doesn't really make sense. And then they do this kind of weird thing where it's supposed to be timeless. Like you can't place the time period because there's like 1940s police cars, old-fashioned paparazzi with like the big flash bulb, but then there's laptops and computers. So you can't place the time. Like it's supposed to be like this weird stylized thing. It just feels like awkward and clunky. The costume design is very goofy. All the bad guys are like in a motorcycle gang. Basically, they're all leather and eye patches and some great overacting in there.
Oh, now wait a minute. It can't be you, because you was dead.
Who's dead?
Oh, Lordy, now, lady. You wouldn't kill a boxer, would you?
The one redeeming thing that I found when this movie, and when it happened, I was like, wow, that was cool. Something good. Oh, I liked that. Is towards the end, the bad guys are having a meeting and they betray the police chief, obviously, and kill him. Once he delivers the guns to them, they just shoot him in the head. And they do a raffle to see who's going to shoot him in the head. And freaking Bruce Campbell shows up out of nowhere. He's the guy the bad guy who wins the raffle. And he's just like, that's me. And you see him for half a second, but it was great.
14. Oh, hey, that's me. That's fucking me.
Oh, wait a minute. What is this? What raffle? Now, I didn't get a number.
There's so much that could have been good. And like, I don't know, it felt like a comedy version, like a cheap version of a Paul Verhoeven film, like a cheap Total Recall or cheap RoboCop without like that really good parody or that really good like satire on, you know, American politics or the world or something like that. It just felt very derivative. It was frustrating, just frustrating. Like you're just watching it and you're like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. And it hurts because like nothing is landing. And the acting, I don't know. I don't know whether it was the acting or if it's the direction. It just was brutal. Just brutal to watch.
Control your emotions or you'll compromise the solution.
Oh, I can't control my emotions! I don't want to control them! God, don't you understand that the day that I'm able to control how I feel, then I'm really dead? Kind of like how you are now!
There's a whole training montage that's with like a dreamy filter on it, and she's throwing like these awkward rock'em sock'em robot punches, and it's like doing the $1 Million Man thing where it's like she's getting stronger every day.
Speed and eye-hand coordination have more than tripled. The subject goes through sparring partners like human dominoes. She's become a fierce predator.
Bubbles are the key to superhuman soldiers. They basically have her sitting in like this dentist chair with like a bunch of bubble tubes around her, and they don't explain, like, it's something with like they replace her blood with nanomachines and they constantly have to replace the blood. That's why it wears out. Sure, whatever. Sounds cool. Why not? Oh yeah, I wrote down that it goes full Event Horizon or Hellraiser for a minute. She starts having these dreams where she is like visualizing hell or something. I don't know if she's supposed to be in hell or her loved ones. It's just very like abrupt and very like, whoa, what the heck is going on?
What?
But I guess that's what leads her to unplug her fiance and let him die and pass on, because she feels like he's being tortured and she's being tortured by being like this undead zombie person. Her costume design, like I mentioned earlier, she literally is just wearing like rollerblade elbow pads on her shoulders. And it's just, you know, it reads pretty comically cheap. They go over like her equipment and how like the motorcycle only responds to her and her guns are only responding to her like heat signature and things like that. And they say the motorcycle has a 3-pound variance, so watch your weight. Like, sheesh. It's like, but she's dead. Does she even need to eat? Like, don't the nanobots just like keep her alive? Does she have to eat anything? Shouldn't. Stupid. The epitome of a trash tape. It's a shame. There's a lot that I wish they had changed, or like it feels like it should be a laugh a minute. Like you should be able to laugh along with this. There should be cool effects, cool action, and it'd be like a really fun bad movie. But it is just in that valley where it didn't take itself seriously enough. It wanted to be in on the joke and be like, hey, isn't this crazy? Isn't this funny? But that's what kind of ruins it, is that they try to inject comedy and like a self-awareness in there that then makes it so that you can't laugh at the movie and you can't get into the movie. It's too aware of what it's trying to do. Definitely feels like a product of its time. It looked like they had a blast making it. I bet this was so much fun to make. It seemed like everybody was just hamming it up, chewing on the scenery, having a blast filming it. Behind the scenes were probably great. Like, people probably left that set being like, that was the best experience ever. It was so much fun. It looked like everybody was probably just having a great time. Unfortunately, the end result is that the audience then is just like, cool, I'm glad you guys had fun, but the movie, like, there's not enough. It feels like it's missing things, or the concepts are there, but they don't quite land. The Demolitionist from 1995. Trash. Just a trash tape. But hey, that's the way the tape crumbles, you know? Some are great, some are trash. This one was abysmal. And that's what I get for going off of the cover. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, comment, all the doodly doos. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one.